Welcome to Moose on the Loose, your source of uncorrupt media. My name's David. Today in our top stories, we have Canadians joining the farmer protests. That's right, it's happening. And it's happening just 2 hours south of me here on Vancouver Island. As well as Tucker Carlson is getting a crosshair, a real crosshair on his back. And finally, Pierre Poilievre breaks his silence about what he thinks about Danielle Smith's policies in Alberta regarding trans youth. So first off, if you haven't been following, farmer protests have been going crazy in Europe. And so many countries now have joined to push back against Klaus Schwab, the WEF, all these harsh regulations that are pushing farmers to the brink of being broke, poor, or ending themselves, quite frankly. It's quite sad. It's happening a lot in France. You can see here the Italian farmers have joined in. No farmer, no food, no future. What is that? I can't read that, but someone else can. You're seeing a lot of the people supporting, which is great, got the flags out. For the most part, I haven't seen any citizens in any country pushing back against the farmers. Everyone is supporting farmers. You got big tractors, you got the little tractors. All the tractors are coming out, getting it done. This is great to see. This is the people taking back the countries. This is quite a time in history, if I'm quite honest. They do like to honk in solidarity. Look at this tractor. That thing's awesome. UK farmers have decided to join the fight as well. We're gonna have to turn that off because yeah, there's no way that's gonna happen. But yeah, UK farmers, they're all rolling in. It's good to see, good to see. Finally, Canadian farmers are joining the protest. So let's look. This guy here's got a full list. Here's all the countries. France, Germany, Netherlands, Poland, Lithuania, Romania, Belgium, Greece, Italy, Portugal, Ireland are all in the protest, as well as England, and now Canada. All we've got left is what, America and Mexico? The footage to come by the Canadians is much, much harder to find. It's actually on a really small Facebook group. Luckily, I have a viewer of not only this channel, but my hiking channel as well, because I'm a local here in Vancouver Island that's made like a zillion hiking videos. So I've had a whole bunch of photos sent to me, but Rebel News does have this one short clip. Let's check this out. So Cowichan Valley farmers is what they said there. Cowichan Valley is near Duncan, Nanaimo. It's like south of Nanaimo, north of Victoria. They're bringing like this stuff fresh right out of the farm. I don't know what these machines are, but yeah, they do take up a lot of space, which I think is the point. There's a small community Facebook group, and that's where photos were sent to me from of the Cowichan Valley farmers. And that is, so we're on Vancouver Island here. See, there's Canada. Down here, there's City Hall, this building right here. So you can see the building here. It's a small, very small, tight roads, right? Wouldn't take much to block that. You need one tractor on each side and you're good to go. So this is a City Hall building. And if we look at the photos, there it is right there. It's beautiful. They got nice color coding going on there. There's the same building there, and that's that same tractor with that machinery you saw earlier in that video. We've got some local supporters here. I love it. It's all good. It's all good stuff. Here's another shot. No farms, no food or future. Got the little tractors there, the Canadian flag. I love it. Love seeing it. This is what needs to happen. It's enough of the carbon tax, enough of this WEF, enough of Klaus Schwab, enough of this nonsense. So I'm curious to see if other regions of Canada will start to step up. They can all do this. It's much harder because we're so much bigger, but local farmers can go down to their local city hall and start stirring up a mess. Let's see what happens. Next up in our news here, Tucker Carlson is in Moscow, in Russia, to interview Vladimir Putin. And so there's a long story behind this. The CIA found out. They sent him a secret message asking him about this, telling him like what's going on. And basically Tucker Carlson just wants to go interview Putin. He also put out an open invite to go interview Zelensky as well afterwards. That's what his hope was. And so this is kind of turned around a big 180. So what's happened is Tucker Carlson is in Moscow doing this interview, and he should be dropping the interview pretty soon. There's been some recourse from this. Tucker Carlson has been getting threats from the EU to be banned. So he's imposing a travel ban on him, meaning he can't travel anywhere in the EU, which is, most of Europe there, right? So that would be quite significant recourse for interviewing someone. Back in the day, Barbara Walters, she went out and interviewed Saddam Hussein. She went out and interviewed Putin. Why is this any different? I don't, whether you like Tucker Carlson or not, whether you're far left, far right, it doesn't matter. Like, the guy's going out there to do an interview. Then he wants to go and interview Zelensky. This seems like a pretty level-headed thing here. Like, why not interview both these guys and see what they both have to say? So to have the EU go all full-blown poopy pants, is Klaus Schwab back there, pulling the strings? Like, what's going on? And something else has happened from this. Let's word this carefully here. So apparently Tucker Carlson now in Ukraine is on the peacemaker list. The peacemaker list is, it's like your friend Bill, except spelt with a K, if you catch what I'm circling. So he's on this Bill list, like his friend Bill. I guess he's not going to Ukraine to interview Zelensky because they have him on this peacemaker. That's what great name, guys. Yeah, there's right there. Website grossly nicknamed a peacemaker. That's funny, but not funny, but scary, but yeah, ironic. So stay tuned for that. Tucker Carlson should be dropping this interview soon. It'll be on his news network website. Finally, Pierre Poilievre breaks his silence. I think it was a good thing to do. I understand why he didn't initially on the whole trans issue, and he just comes out and says it. So see here, he gets swarmed by these reporters, and he just gives them the answer straight. This is what a politician should be doing. Straight answers, no fiddle diddle, like Justin Trudeau always does.
Do you support age restrictions for puberty blockers and hormone therapies for trans kids?
I think that Justin Trudeau is trying to divide and distract Canadians by spreading disinformation about the decisions that premiers and parents are making.
I want to know
What do you think? What do you think?
I want to know your position.
What do you
own party policy? It's your own party policy. At party
I think we
convention.
should protect the rights of parents to make their own decisions.
What does it mean?
With regards to their children. And I believe that adults should have the freedom to make any decision they want about their bodies.
But minors,
How about children?
advanced surgeries and medical interventions for minors, as your own party members suggested.
Medical
sir.
interventions like what?
That is the language that your party
What medical
used.
interventions?
Well, you would have to ask your party members.
What medical
such
interventions?
such as puberty blockers and hormone
For
replacement
minors?
therapy. Yeah. Yes.
Irreversible? You're talking about
I
irreversible?
want
I'd like to understand your
I just want to be
position.
clear. No, I want to be clear. I just want to be clear.
For minors.
Puberty blockers for minors?
Do you agree with that?
Do you agree with that?
I think that we should protect children
What
and their
does that
ability
mean?
to make adult decisions when they're adults.
So
And
you
that
think
would affect-
only adults? Only adults should make. You said yes. Just to be clear, you said yes. Only adults should take puberty blockers.
I think we should protect children, let them make adult decisions when they become adults.
So that means
you do
you
support age
so that means
restrictions?
you are against puberty blockers for kids under the age of 18. Is that
Yes.
unclear? Okay. What about? Can I ask you about in Alberta?
By the way, I just want to make another comment on this. Justin Trudeau is again puffing out his chest, trying to divide Canadians and attack parents who are trying to protect their kids. He will, in the end, back down on this, just like he had to back down on his firearms policy, just like he had to back down on bringing in medical assistance in dying for people suffering from mental illness. Just like he's backing down again and again and again, he will back down on this because he is not interested in protecting kids. He's interested in using this as a divisive wedge to distract from doubling housing costs and quadrupling carbon taxes on our people.
But it's for
Mr.
you, so you're against puberty blockers for kids under the age
Yes.
of 18. Hey, what about opting
Yes,
in?
I am.
What about parents in Alberta having to opt in for sex ed? Where do you stand
every
on that?
lesson.
No, that's a decision for the province.
No, but what do you think? What do you think? What do
Ask
you
you a
think?
question on Ukraine, please. There is a measured decline in support for the war in Ukraine, especially among your voters. What is your message to them, specifically them, to convince them that Canada must remain on side?
My message is that we have to defend against countries that are mercilessly invaded by aggressive powers. so that we dissuade dictators from this kind of aggression. And, I would say that Justin Trudeau has done absolutely nothing on this file except divide Canadians. He deliberately divides on the subject by inserting a carbon tax in a trade amendment that has no place there. And Canadians are against the carbon tax. I'm against the carbon tax. Trudeau never should have tried to divide Canadians on Ukraine by forcing the carbon tax into that agreement.
So they go off in French here a bit. These reporters are absolute rabid dogs. One of them actually, I think they call him a name here.
Would you grant a Ukraine free trade deal if you become prime minister?
We brought in the Ukraine free trade deal.
The new one, the new version.
There is no new one. What there is
it was just passed in the
no,
House of Commons yesterday.
If I could, what there is a carbon tax amendment. You know what would happen if this deal didn't pass? Nothing. Because we already have a free trade agreement. What we have now is a carbon tax amendment to a pre-existing deal.
So what would you do if you become prime minister?
We're not going to honor a carbon tax amendment.
But your supporters
We're
already don't
going
like
to-
the carbon
we're
tax.
going to-
Why don't they support Ukraine?
They don't,
That's their
because
question.
they don't support the carbon tax.
So you think that all of their support, their declining support for Ukraine is linked solely to the
carbon
carbon
tax?
tax in this free trade deal?
The carbon tax was inserted by Justin Trudeau, not by my supporters. Why did he do that? No, but I'm just curious. Can you explain to me why there is a carbon tax in the agreement?
No, but the question is why.
No, I asked you a question. You keep asking what the agreement is.
We're the journalists.
Why do you think
I have the freedom to ask questions if I want to, and I've just answered. I've been answering your questions all week.
Here's another.
What a legend.
The government's introducing
Why would they
an
do a
investment
carbon
tax
tax?
credit.
No, you're not changing the subject. I know you want to change the subject.
I want to ask
because
a
you don't want to
question.
talk
I want to
about
ask a
Trudeau's carbon tax.
I want to ask a question because
No.
in a democracy we
Sorry.
ask the question and you answer.
And I decide the answer I give. And the answer is this: we will axe the tax. And Trudeau can try to divide Canadians by putting a carbon tax in a free trade agreement that we already had for years. It won't change a thing.
It's misleading.
Because I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax with delight and with passion and with incredible speed. So when I'm Prime Minister, you will be shocked at the speed with which I will axe the tax. And the Canadian people will be able to look up at the gas stations and see the prices coming down. And Trudeau can try to distract from his hated carbon tax by putting it in a free trade amendment to a pre-existing agreement. It won't stop me because I will axe the tax, I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax. Thank you.
But not an industrial emission.
Who's that one reporter? Yeah, that's the one guy said, oh, it's misleading.
It won't change a thing
It's misleading.
because I will
There it is.
axe the
That must be a CBC reporter. Corrupt media. Oh, geez. It's good to see he's fighting for us. The people are standing up. The citizens of the world are starting to get together. It feels like there's a unity on planet Earth. The farmers, the people backing them. There's good vibes going on here. I like the direction things are going on planet Earth right now. That's all we got right now for the Canadian farmers joining the protest. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Hit that button, notification bell, all that good stuff, so you're notified when all my videos come out. Be sure to stay warm, stay fed. I'll see you guys in the next one.